Hi, Mike.
How are you?
Very well. Dealing with 2 new horses.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. One of them is Maximus. He's a big one, and he is a half Frisian, half Percheron. And the other one is what we call a husband horse, and he is a quarter horse. So he's pretty well trained.
Horses are one of those things. I've been on them a few times. They are majestic and impressive, but not necessarily something that I would describe as being my cup of tea.
I see. Hey, I'm trying to get my video working. I don't know why it's not. You can't see me, can you?
No, but it's got a cross off through it. Do you have a slide above your camera, like on your laptop? Like a
Oh.
private slide?
You know, no, I have a button. I've got a new laptop. I just need to take a look at it here quick.
Because it
Let's
says your
see which-
video is on.
Yeah, I gotta see which one it is. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Do you know I'm here?
We can hear you, Chris.
Yep. We can't see you. We can hear you.
Okay. You can't see me?
No,
Not yet.
You're blocking my entire screen. Your screen.
am?
You are.
we can see you in our minds.
How do I make you smaller?
Make me smaller or Mike smaller?
Both of you. You're both over me.
Don't be
Huh.
intimidated. Go down to where it has your start your video.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you
Just send
have
us
a,
request.
you have anything that blocks your view, blocks your screen, like a slider bar or
Oh,
whatever?
start my video? No, cannot start video. Okay.
No, but I would like to, Bill, I'd like to have something added to the agenda. It's really innocuous. It's at the bottom of the agenda. Could we please, I'd like to make a motion. Well, I'd like us to add items for next Board of Selectmen meeting as a topic.
Absolutely. You want to make that a motion right now?
I move that we add items for next Board of Selectmen meeting to the agenda.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
Unanimous. Okay, item 4 for Selectmen's briefing. Just a COVID update, effective March 8th. We implemented a face mask optional policy in all town buildings. That transition seems to have gone very smooth. I got no complaints, and that is in place. Of course, we will be monitoring things as they go. Luckily, CDC, the last rating I saw, Connecticut is in their lowest rating for percentages per 100,000. And from the State Health Department, we are now in the gray area, which is also the lowest designation. Just a point of interest, we have distributed approximately 2,500 N95 masks to residents and approximately 1,000 test kits. Masks are still available at the town office building entrance. We encourage anyone who would like to receive the mask to please do so. We still have test kits available, and they can be attained by calling the Selectmen's office.
Also, Bill, I was able to obtain test kits from the feds. There was an option for individuals to do that or families to do, households to do that.
Yeah.
And obtain them within 3 weeks. So that works as well.
And I know the school also has a program up there for students and families, so they are available. The ones we have here at the town office building are available for immediate use. Next item, the road cleanup program that Pam Summers has been facilitating was rained out this past Saturday, but it is going to transpire again this coming Saturday. Sounds like the weather is going to be accommodating this time. People are asked to meet at the Knowlton Hall at 8:45 for distribution of safety vests and bags. We also intend on establishing, and I've asked Pam to start working on it, an Adopt a Road program. And stay tuned. There'll be more information in the Citizen on Facebook regarding that program. It's been very successful in a number of towns throughout the state. Next item, Board of Finance will be calling a public hearing on our budget April 5th at 7 o'clock through a Zoom meeting. Budget books will be available at the town office building. Projections so far indicate that the mill rate will be adjusted to 32.349 from 36.369 mills. At this time, early estimates project a 4.66 increase in spending over all of the budgets. We all encourage all taxpayers to please participate and be informed on that. And please watch our web page for more information. Congratulations to the Senior Center for their St. Patrick's Day takeout dinner this past Monday. More than 30 participants took advantage of the excellent corned beef and cabbage. Job well done by Kit and her volunteer staff. Please sign up for TextMyGov. We've got a number of people that seem to be joining recently, which is encouraging. And instructions will again be in the Ashford Citizen this month, if you're not familiar on how to do that.
Bill, have we considered adding some categories in there for people, events like what Pam's doing with road cleanup and some other, we started out with categories of information that we felt were important, and they were the first ones. We knew that we'd be expanding. So have you come up with any additional ones that we should have? Is this something
We
can
have
work
done a
on?
new category that's going to be at the top of the list.
Yeah,
I've been working with Katie about that, and that should be implemented. If it hasn't been already, it should be happening this week. But the new category will be first Selectmen / town alerts. And under that, we'll have things like town events, road closures, several categories that I think be a little more. All of the remaining ones that we started with will be on there, but there's going to be a few consolidations and something at the top of the list specifically for alerts for different functions in that. And Catherine, I think you did a great job with initiating that, facilitating that, and happily, it seems like more and more people are starting to take advantage of that.
and I just want to remind you that the intent was to start this way with alerts, with information going out, and later use the even stronger part of the system, which is to make it so that people can text in and get quick answers to their questions. And that's through automation, where we would have put some things out on the website. For example, if you typed in dog license, it would take you to the instructions that are out there on how to get a dog license, so that they wouldn't have to wait until town offices were open to get answers to those kinds of questions.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that now that we've got this part of it working, that we can start to look at how to get the other piece in place. It's being used in other locations, and I think There's another town in Connecticut. Oh, it was in the Chronicle. Columbia they're about to use text.my.gov. So,
I know when we joined up, there was one other town, and I believe there's one or two that are on the list they're joining. I think it's an excellent program and a good investment for the town.
the only other category that I don't know that it fits under first selectman would be for the library to be able to put out notices, have notices put out for them.
Yeah.
So I would like to suggest that we add a library events or notices as one of the categories as well.
Okay, item 5, acceptance of the minutes of February 16th, 22. That
There
the
was no-
last meeting.
That was not a legal meeting. You didn't have a quorum.
Or was that the very short meeting?
No, it was a February 16th executive session it was supposed to be an executive session with ASME, with the union. And there wasn't a quorum of Board of Selectmen. So that wasn't a legal meeting,
Okay.
and there are no minutes.
Yeah, I don't think we ever convened a meeting. But Chris,
You
is that correct? We didn't file anything?
No,
Typically,
you
we
didn't.
file
No,
something and say the meeting didn't happen.
No,
I'll have to look. I didn't bring that stuff home.
Okay,
Bill, you did have the meeting with the union. You met with them,
Yeah, I couldn't make it. I watched that. but-
right? And neither could I. But I know that you met with them, Bill, because you told us about it afterwards.
yeah, I met with Karen, I recall. And it was obviously not an official meeting. All right, well, we'll skip on that. Minutes of March 7th. Regular meeting. Do I have a motion?
Just trying to think. Yeah, no, yeah. Yep, I'll move to approve the meeting minutes.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Unanimous?
Just a comment about that one. Apparently, we, with the Meg Broush appointment in that meeting, we had the wrong date. So that's why we have it on the agenda tonight to fix that for
Okay,
the Ag
No.
Commission.
No, the term expired after the meeting. So she has
Thank
to be
you.
reappointed for a full term.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, next is the budget meeting of March 12th,
it was the Saturday, but we didn't have the numbers.
correct? There were no motions. that
Yeah,
had to be
no
made.
motions in the meeting, so. Do we move to accept the minutes that there weren't any motions?
Chris, was that filed as minutes?
Yes, I did.
All right, I'll move to approve.
We have a motion to move. Do we have a
didn't-
second?
I didn't see those minutes out there.
I saw
sure they're out
something
there?
really short blurb. March 5th.
I will look tomorrow and make sure they were filed.
March 12th. I've got March 12th. It was just a call to order. And then a review of general government budget recommendations, and we adjourned at 10:31.
Okay, I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right. Our meeting of March 15th regarding budget.
I'll move to accept, again, short meeting. Well, no, that was a little bit longer meeting. We had to
Yes,
go-
it was.
Yeah. Is there a
I'll
second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Item 6, hear from boards, commission, committees, and departments. I know we have Melissa on, but I think she's on a little later in the agenda here. I don't see anybody else. Going once, going twice. Item 7, old business. Discuss reopening strategies, town facilities, update relating to the holding of board and commission meetings. We are still trying to strive towards our OWL meetings, the hybrid meetings. And by our next meeting, I hope to have a full report and a plan on when those meetings will be starting.
Have we decided whether we're gonna get a second owl?
Well, having discussions with Cheryl and everything, we felt let's work out the kinks with one
Okay,
and perhaps start using them with our meetings.
okay,
See if maybe one other board that's not on the same night. As we discussed last week, we don't have a lot of boards that have combined meetings, but we have a couple of them. Try to work that out. All right. Ashford Advisory School Building Committee, I understand that there'll be no report from them tonight. They're still waiting for some follow-up information from the school regarding the solar panels and a couple of things that the superintendent's going to get back to them on. Item C, I think I hit that on our on my selectmen's briefing. Are there any questions or anything regarding the COVID? Okay, street lighting. Chris and I are still working on those applications. We've been in discussions with Eversource, and hopefully before we lose daylight savings time, we'll have them installed. American Rescue Plan. Again, our intention is preferably once we get the OWL working properly is to have a public hearing. I understand the board indicated a preference in our last meeting of doing 1 week with an informational public hearing, followed up by a legally noticed town meeting directly thereafter. And that's our intention in proceeding with that. We do have under that item, we have a request from our social service director, Melissa. So I'm going to turn the floor over to her. I thought she had an excellent idea. I did talk with Melissa to see if this involved additional funding, because as you recall, I guess, Catherine, during your tenure and the board's approval, we assigned $20,000 from ORPA to her department. And I think she's come up with an excellent idea on more formal implementation of a new program within her department. So Melissa, I will turn the floor over to you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
No problem. So I've only used the funds that you set aside for my department twice for doing rent assistance. I've been able to send most people to that Unite CT program and been able to use the state's money for rent. So I think that has saved us, a lot of money for the town. So I've been trying to think like, what are some other things I could use the money for? And about 5 years ago, I started a program with a generous donation from a Board of Ed member we were able to get food backpacks to our neediest kids on the Friday before vacations and send them home with some groceries. So we've been trying to, like for the last 5 years, come up with funds to make this a program where anyone who needed it could apply. So I've gotten tiny pots of money and some food donations this year, but not enough to really make it go throughout the whole year. So I decided I was just going to start it and do it for as long as I could. But if I could get a small amount of money, which I was thinking $1,500, I would be able to fund it the rest of this year and all of next year. And the program would allow families to apply, and there would be no income guidelines. It would be self-declared, just families saying, yes, I need the help. And we would send those students home with 2 breakfasts, 2 lunches, and some snacks to get them through each weekend. So that was $1,500. And then the other program I was thinking, it was kind of a win-win, I think, for our low-income families and our farmers market. And that was to provide 15 families through an application process, and it would be income-based, $25 a week to go to the farmers market and do some farmer's market shopping, obviously just fruits and vegetables. I think there might be some meats at our farmer's market, but I need to meet with Roberta and get some more information about what's available. I don't have like exact, like what kind of, I don't know if it would be a voucher or exactly how we would do it. So that I need to work out and see if the farmer's market is even open to it. But when I calculated it out, I guesstimated the growing season to be about 15 weeks, which came out to $5,625 for the summer. And that was 15 families at $25 a week.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that what, do we need to make a motion about this? We gave her $20,000 to disperse as appropriate to support families in need. So I'm more than willing to make the motion on the food backpacks if that's needed. But what we had done was we had left it to Melissa's discretion as to how to distribute those monies. I want to make sure that we don't get into really micromanaging.
Yeah, no,
What
I
she's doing with
agree.
that.
I don't think we need a motion. What I appreciate is Melissa thinking sort of outside the box. And I thought this was a program that not only helps those that are in need, but also our farmers market program and our local producers. And that I thought it's the best of both worlds.
I think,
But I think just a small narrative from Melissa, and probably it can be reflected just in her comments here in the minutes, is sufficient. We have, as I recall, the board had voted on the 20,000 for her to utilize and to do just what she's doing. I think she's been doing an excellent job with that. So
And just provide us updates and
yeah, I'd give us, give the board updates and let us know if it's working or if there's a part that
Okay.
we need to do some tweaking. I think you're still being frugal. I think you can get a feel from the board right now. We're fully supportive of your suggestions and encourage you to go ahead. I do have a question though with the fuel crisis that's going on now and fuel oil quickly approaching, if it hasn't already got there, to $5 a gallon. Are you getting more calls, Melissa? And
So I haven't, I've definitely gotten, more calls, but I don't feel like the number has gone up since the oil prices, but I think it's only been like a week and a half really since oil prices have gone up. So people got more money this year than they've ever gotten before because there was extra federal dollars. So when the program first started, I was like, people are never going to use up this money. And now I'm looking at what people have left, and I am a little bit worried that people will, because I know personally, I just got oil and paid over $800 for our last fill up. So when I've been looking at, people have been getting $300 fill ups, $500 fill ups. So I've been thinking that their funds were going to go a lot further. Now I'm starting to get a little bit worried that maybe the program's going to run out of money sooner than people had thought.
Have
Maybe-
we used any of the ARPA money towards that, or are you utilizing other?
So the way it works is first people apply for energy assistance from the federal government. And then if you run out of that and still need assistance, like when you get your Eversource bill and it says, do you want to donate $1?
Yeah.
That money goes to Operation Fuel. And then that would be the next place that you can apply. So you could apply to Operation Fuel to get 1 tank of oil. But after that, if somebody still needed oil, then they would come to the town and ask them. So in the past, we've used emergency funds that I've gotten through donations, but that would be, I guess it would have to be if they didn't have money because of COVID, if I'm understanding the usage correctly.
when you're talking about using the ARPA funds.
funds.
Yeah.
So that might get a
I
little
guess the only
tricky.
thing that I would suggest, if you, and I'm sure you'll keep us, informed of any trends or whatever, but if you see something that's, not presenting itself right now, but does in 2 weeks or 4 weeks, luckily we're coming out of thank goodness, of the winter season. But
Mhm.
please keep our board appraised and
All right.
updated on that, and we'll work with you as best we can.
Mm. And the federal government may change things. There's been
Right.
times where they've like extended the program. They've never put more money into the program, but like last year, they didn't tell us that there was money, but there was money left over and people got a credit on their Eversource bill. So they may be aware that there is some extra money now, and maybe they'll say, come May, oh, we have this funds if people can't afford oil. This is the application process. I don't know if that'll happen, but it's kind of in the back of my mind as a possibility.
Well, keep us updated. I know you will. Catherine, Roger, any other questions of Melissa?
Nope.
No, I just, first of all, I think you do an outstanding job.
Thank you.
And, we've gotten over the last year, you've gotten questions from people about fuel assistance, and you've been doing it all along.
Mhm.
So I'm also thinking that it may be the feds or the state may, if in fact the fuel shortage or the price of fuel is going to be higher on an ongoing basis, a lengthy basis, they will probably try to come up with some funding to
I
help
hope
people.
so.
Yeah, certainly the fact that they have these programs at all is great.
Mhm.
So thank you for
No
everything you're
problem.
doing.
No
And I
problem.
can't wait to hear if you come up with some other ideas.
Thanks.
Thanks, Melissa. Job
Thanks. Have a
done.
good night.
You too.
You take care.
Okay, item F, we really don't have a report. I did get a email from Bob Hurd this past weekend, who actually ended up having surgery. And I guess he had gone through this type of surgery several years ago, and he said he had recuperated in a matter of a couple of weeks, and he says he's into his 5th week now. But at least he's keeping in touch. He said as soon as he gets back on his feet, we're going to be the first that he will be addressing. So I'll keep you posted. I'm not sure what else we can do at this point. I've also let Joan Boley know, give her an update of what we're hearing from Bob. So the only thing I could figure is we're in a holding pattern for now. Any thoughts or comments? Okay, item 8 on it is board commissions, committee appointments. Agricultural Commission, reappointment of Meg Branch to an alternate member position with a term to end March 15th, 2025.
Make a motion to reappoint Meg Broush to an alternate member position with term to end March 15th, 2025.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Reappointment of Art Talmadge to be a regular member position with the term to end March 15th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Thank you. Third, reappointment of Sherry Simpson to a regular member position with the term to expire. Same term, March 15th, 2025.
I'll make that motion.
Second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Last one, reappointment of Mike Sabega to a regular member position with a term to end, same date, March 15th, 2025.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you.
And I'd
folks.
just like to comment that I appreciate these folks volunteering for that board. It's an important board.
Absolutely. Next item, inland wetland and watercourse, fill of alternate vacancy created by the resignation of Ken Guerrier. Are there any nominations?
Lenny said he'll have the candidate for the next meeting.
Okay,
Excellent.
Good.
very good. Next item, Recreation Commission, fill one alternate member seat, term to expire 4/1/22. Well, we're gonna need somebody for longer than that, but I continue to bat the woods and try to come up with somebody, and I encourage everybody to do that. This too is also an important commission. It has not had a commissioner now in more than a couple of years. And I look at it as a critical seat that we have to get. So let's try to make a united effort to come up with somebody on that. Next item is Commission on Aging, fill a vacancy seat created by the resignation of Elaine Wilmus Pandolfo, term to associated with Miss Pandolfo's seat expires June 30th of 23. Hearing none, we're going to move on. I still have a person. I understand it has to be a minority, either a Republican or unaffiliated. I still have a person that I think would be excellent, but she's still recuperating from some surgery she had done. So, but if anybody else comes up with something, it's also very, all of our boards in that are very important.
Mhm.
Volunteers are critical, but let's keep our eyes and ears open. Item B, authorize the first selectman to enter into a listing and marketing committee agreement with Ridley Mountain Fire Apparatus for the sale of our 1992 Freightliner fire truck. I think Chris forwarded copies of the contract to you both. We had used this firm back several years ago, and they were successful in selling one of our units, I believe. Where was it, Chris? In Virginia or West Virginia or Georgia?
Georgia,
Georgia.
they sold the Mac.
Yeah. And we sold a Mac. So I'd ask for a motion.
So moved
I'll
to
second.
authorize the first selectman to enter into a listing and marketing commission agreement with Brindley Martin Fire Apparatus for the sale of the 1992 Freightliner fire truck.
I'll second it.
We have a motion. Any more discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you, folks. We'll get that right in. Item C, tax refunds.
None.
Oh, that's good news. Hey.
That's new.
And the next item, we added an item, Catherine, and do you want to take that up?
Yeah, I think it would be a good thing to have on our agendas anyway. But there's a couple of things I'd like to ask be covered in our next meeting or the one thereafter. One is to review the CES assessments of our town buildings, so that we can also make sure that that information is public.
Okay.
I think that would be a good thing. I read through them today, and I think it's important for the public to know that our buildings do need work and what the work is.
Along those lines, do you want me to try to invite the gentleman that facilitated those to join us in a Zoom meeting?
That would be great.
Let me try to do that.
Okay. Okay. And another one is I would like us to revisit our insurance incentive for town workers. I think that I don't think we had all the information at the point in time where we made that decision during our last meeting. I'd like to make sure that this is really actually going to benefit the town itself. So I have a sneaking suspicion that we are not going to get many takers for this, just based upon what we have. We already have 3. Well, I won't get into this discussion now, but I'd like that added to the agenda for the next meeting.
Do you want to add it to the next agenda, or do you want to discuss it now, Catherine? We could add it to this meeting, or you want to hold off
However-
till we get more
however the-
information?
Yeah, we haven't done a poll of the people that we have, to my knowledge. Yes, we're certainly asking the people who are already participating in the incentive program really doesn't cover it. It's more along the lines of what do we really have as the broader group?
All right, I mean,
Yeah,
I'll wait for a poll.
Because otherwise we're just giving more money to the people who are already taking advantage of the program.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to discuss this and try to get more information, discuss it at the next meeting. We have been talking about this for a little while, but you know,
would be
there's a
great.
potential of probably 2 new employees and perhaps more coming on in the foreseeable future with the town that we would not be able to pull, of course. I think the true savings, and I believe the Board of Ed, if they haven't done it, are going to initiate the same policy because they have.
Right, the
same
Board
ones we
the
have
Board of
now.
Ed has,
I
yeah, the
think
Board of Ed has,
more impact potential. Whether that will come to fruition or not is at the Board of Ed.
right. The Board of Ed has a broader group that they're dealing with. And they've already, if I understand correctly, they've already polled them, so to speak, and found that there are people who are interested in taking advantage of that. So they knew that up front.
Yeah.
And tell me if that differs from your understanding and your discussions with Superintendent Kreller.
No, and I think that I had mentioned to you and Roger at the last meeting, one of the concerns are because of the parent better benefits with the program, the partnership program that we're thinking of switching over to.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
may have some people up there that are presently taking the incentive that may come off of it at the $1,200. And while the superintendent assures me they would still be looking at a considerable savings up there, it may not be quite as significant if
Mhm.
a good number of those go over to the partnership program. But
Right, and I think,
I'm happy, Catherine, to try to get more information, both from our new insurance broker, because I understand she has some thoughts on this, and also see exactly what, I have not been aware of the school actually formally doing any polling, but I'd be glad to get more information from Craig up there and report back to our board at our next meeting.
that would be good. Okay, and then
Anything else, Catherine?
yeah, there was one other one, and maybe it would just be in the Selectmen's update, which is, as you know, we got another concern about speeding in town, and I just wanted to get a sense of where we have our signs now, our speed signs. So just something that I hope will get covered in the Selectmen's update
Yeah,
for the next.
just informational person, not looking for a motion or anything. The signs have not been moved yet. As you know, I was trying to, and we're still working on it, move the signs to either side of the school until our more permanent signs come in. And we run into a problem.
Right.
The school thought that they had encroachment permits, but they don't. And we're working with DOT right now and got Chris diligently working on that to come on with that. But no, I'm glad to open it. I don't know if you saw the email. I know you wrote to her, Catherine. I wrote back. I also wrote to the lady. You know, it's something that we're hearing from just about every road we have in town. Now, I live on Route 80 on 44, formerly on 89, and sometimes those roads resemble racetracks. I can sympathize with the people on private roads, but
Yeah.
it's an issue. It really is.
Yeah, well, and there's also I'm trying to remember the name of the road, Kitterbrook. Our public works guys are supposed to move the line that's where the stop sign is.
The white
That-
line.
Yeah, the line that's on Kitterbrook at the intersection with Turnpike.
The
they're
white line where
supposed-
the stop sign is.
Yeah, they're supposed to move it up so that it is up really on the side of Turnpike. It's way back. So that was one of the things that was recommended by the expert that we worked with.
Okay.
On what ought to be
I'll
put in
check with
place
Joe
there.
about that. I don't recall hearing about that, but I'll check with Joe about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I know
He knows.
Turnpike was another one that I got a couple calls on also, besides Kitterbrook.
So, and that one, they're not still complaining about the FedEx trucks, right? Because I went
Not
to
to me.
FedEx.
No, I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I went to FedEx and they said they were pretty aghast and they were gonna follow up with their drivers. So they shouldn't have their big trucks on that road, and the smaller trucks were, I observed after going to talk with them. I happened to be at the house of one of the complainants and, doing a follow-up, and we saw 2 FedEx smaller trucks go through and they were doing the speed limit. It looked like they were.
Good.
So I'm glad to
Good.
hear that. So it's maybe other individuals out there.
Okay, well, we finished our agenda and I guess the motion for adjournment is appropriate. What time you got, Catherine?
That's 7:40. Motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you very much, folks. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too.